Good day, everybody. Out here at an old house that was has a lot of land around it. Best guess is late 1800s, early 1900s. Um, it's got a creek rock foundation underneath the original structure, which is the taller section. So it's definitely got a bit of age on it. We're not 100% sure. I was given permission out here, and I'm actually out here with my buddy Brian. We're out here kind of digging along. We've been here a little bit now. Kind of forgot to pick up the camera and take some shots. Have found a few things that are pretty nice, pretty interesting. Nothing super telling of the age of the property yet, though. As you can see out here, at one point there was horse stables. They are currently pulling up the trees and stuff. Unfortunately, this beautiful house will be going at some point. There is a neighborhood that's going to be built on this property, and I was able to get Mr. Brandy, who actually owns the property, to he was gracious enough to give me permission to come out here and detect, and he actually is a detector himself. So we're going to detect a little bit more, and I'll show you when I find something else pretty interesting. So all with that, we're on to the next. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, sorry I didn't get back to you with any more footage from today. Got really wrapped up in detecting and kind of the things I was finding. I was also kind of working with Brian a little bit to help him with the things that he was finding. You know, we kind of sit and we kind of chit-chatted a little bit. But for the findings today, though, they were pretty decent. They were definitely different for a change. Now, of course, here's a bit of your same old stuff. But if you look at some of these, there's like that there. I'm almost certain is the cap off of like an old aluminum, or not aluminum. Sorry, tin, like oil container, something of that nature. You know, like an old automotive container. This is actually kind of interesting because you don't usually see them intact on the cans, but this is an RC Cola can from the 1970s that still has the pop top attached to it. Usually, in most cases, the pop top gets popped or people pull them off and throw them down or whatever else. A lot of the same old though, with like nails and scrap metal. Didn't find as much in the way of aluminum garbage this time. Maybe a couple of pop tops, a little scrap aluminum there, but that's about it. Did find a piece of some old dishware, like a pottery piece or china piece, something like that. That's a big hunk of copper sitting right there. Then over here, of course, typical clad. So 10 cents, 11 cents in clad today. Found a, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that is a bridal reins guide. Screaming Target, actually. I thought it was something else entirely different, but the way it was ringing up. Then I found this, obviously here, I found this pair of pliers, frozen in time, open, like that. Both of these things weren't too far from each other, which I found kind of interesting as well, at about 5 to 6 inches down in the ground. Now, some of the better things I found today were, I found an old iron jacks. Some little kid was sitting out on the sidewalk and I guess playing their jacks or whatever, and because this was right off to the side of the sidewalk on the back side of that property. A pearl-handled buck knife from about the 1950s. Of course, the blades looked really good, while it was folded up, so I tried cleaning it off and tried to open them up, and unfortunately, 2 of the blades snapped. The main big blade, however, did not. Of course, now I am a little worried about trying to fold it back up. I'm almost scared to try to fold it back up. Now, this for me was a bucket list. I have always wanted to find a pocket watch. You can see the silver plating that's on it. it's very brittle, super, super brittle, which tells me it's fairly old. Um, the top half there seems to be kind of the front, and then these two little pieces here at the bottom look to be part of maybe like the back cover. I searched that hole really thoroughly, especially after finding the winder and those couple of pieces like that. I'm not entirely certain that those may have not been in one piece, and I may have not snapped it when I was digging my hole up. Kind of when I dug it up, it did make me a little teary-eyed because, like, again, I'm pretty certain I may have snapped that. And with it being a bucket list, don't want to break a bucket lister, but is what it is, I suppose. So yeah, it was a really nice day. It was good to be out metal detecting again. Was detecting with a friend. He's also got a lot of other historical properties and stuff that he owns that are pretty old. So, looking forward to getting out and doing it, doing that again with him. I think that's gonna be one of our next things. We're gonna go to a pretty old property. So, on that note, that'll be it for today's show. This has been our wrap up, and for April 18th of 2020. As always, if you guys like what you see, please hit that like button and hit that subscribe for more content. And I'll definitely see you guys on the next one.